الحمد لله رب العالمين. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونتوب إليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير، غافر الذنب وقابل التوب شديد العقاب ذي الطول، لا إله إلا هو إليه المصير. وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات ربي وسلامه عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه الطيبين الطاهرين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء، واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم، ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد، عباد الله، يقول عز من قائل: نون والقلم وما يسطرون، ما أنت بنعمة ربك بمجنون، وإن لك لأجرا غير ممنون، وإنك لعلى خلق عظيم. ويقول عز من قائل: وقولوا للناس حسنا. My brother and sister, we talk today about something important that we can improve ourselves and be aware of this very important thing, and that is the manners. The good manners that a Muslim is supposed to acquire and supposed to have as a Muslim. There are so many hadith on that. We'll start with hadith Abu Umama al-Bahili. This is a great Sahaba, Abu Umama al-Bahili. He said, قال رسول الله in the hadith صحيح، قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: من يضمن لي whoever guarantee, for I will guarantee a place in Jannah for those who يترك الجدال ولو كان محقا, the one who does not argue and abandon arguments even if he has the right, even if he's right, but he abandons arguments. Arguments are never good, even if you are on the right side. So whoever abandon or leave or do not argue, even if he's right, Allah Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he said, I will guarantee for him a place in Jannah. And then he said, I will also guarantee a place in the middle of Jannah. The first one, Marbud al-Jannah, the beginning of Jannah. The second one, whoever is abandoned lying, even if he was joking. Sometimes you make lies just to make people laugh or something. Even if you abandon that, abandon real lies, if abandon any kinds of lying, even he said for the jokes, then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, أنا زعيم ببيت في أوسط الجنة. I will guarantee a place for in Jannah in the middle of Jannah. And then he said, وأنا زعيم ببيت في أعلى الجنة. And I guarantee a place on the highest level of Jannah. For who? For those who has good manners. For those who had good manners, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, I guarantee for them a place on the highest level of Jannah. And you see the importance of having good manners. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in another hadith sahih, إن أثقل شيء في الميزان يوم القيامة حسن الخلق. The most thing that weighs in the scale. Remember in the day of judgment, as Allah says in Surah Al-Anbiya and many other surahs, وَنَضَعُ الْمَوَازِينَ الْقِسْطَ. The scale of weighing good deeds and bad deeds will be set there on the day of judgment. And here Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, there is nothing more than that will weigh heavier than good manners. on the day of judgment, when they will weighing the salah, the zakah, everything is going to be weighed. But the most one, the heaviest thing in the scale of a believer is the good manners. That's another one. Another hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, أكمل المؤمنين إيمانا أحسنهم خلقا. The believers, the one who has the most perfect believer, or the believer who his faith is perfected, is the one who has the good manners, the one with the good manners. And another hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, إن أحبكم إلي وأقربكم إلي مني وأقربكم مني يوم القيامة أحسنكم خلقا. The ones who most beloved to me, that's Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is talking. The one who is the most beloved to me, the most I love the most, and the one who will be close to me on the day of judgment is the one who has the good manners. He did not say the one who fasts the most. He did not say the one who gives more zakah, more sadaqah. No, the one who has the good manners will be beloved the most by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he will be close with him on the day of judgment. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam on another hadith sahih, inna sahibu husnul khulq, the one who has good manners, he will reach in the level of Jannah as the one who makes a lot of qiyamul layl and a lot of fasting. As you know, a lot of fasting, a lot of qiyamul layl, a lot of good deeds, they rise your place in Jannah. You enter Jannah by your faith. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Anybody says that sincerely from his heart, as Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, he will enter Jannah. But once the people enter Jannah, then Jannah is levels, many levels, hundreds of levels. Which level you are in, that based on your deeds. And that's why we have to what? To keep our deeds and protect our deeds. As Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam here, he says in this hadith, the one who has good manners, he will reach in the level of Jannah as much as somebody who makes many qiyamul layl. He does qiyamul layl and he fasts the sunnah. Of course, we're talking about a Muslim, not about fasting Ramadan, as you have to, or the 5 prayers. But there are people who prays at night, every night. وَبِالْأَسْحَارِ هُمْ يَسْتَغْفِرُونَ تَتَجَافَى جُنُوبُهُمْ عَنِ الْمَضَاجِعِ يَدْعُونَ رَبَّهُمْ خَوْفًا وَطَمَعًا. Allah have praised those who make qiyamul layl and who fast more than Ramadan and the sunnah and all that. If somebody, you take 2 people, one has both Muslims and one makes qiyamul layl every day and fasts Tuesday and Monday and Thursday and the 3 days and 6 of Shawwal and all this, and someone does not do that for some reason. Maybe he's tired, maybe he has family to work, maybe he has no time, but he's a Muslim, he does the mandatory things, but he has good manners. This with good manners, he will reach the same brother as the one who was making qiyamul layl and fasting in that, and that's on the hadith sahih of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It's so much, many hadith and verses in the Quran about being a good manners for a Muslim to have good manners. Rasul and Aisha asked about the manners of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. What did she say? كان خلقه القرآن. His manners was the Quran. Whatever the Quran says, then he does it, and that is his manners. So if anyone asking what is the good manners, then look at the seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Look at the Quran, what's in there, and you will see beside the fasting and that is between you and Allah. But there are things that between you and people. Those are what establishes the what? The good manners. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِأَمَانَاتِهِمْ وَعَهْدِهِمْ رَاعُونَ وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ بِشَهَادَاتِهِمْ قَائِمُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned those things, many of them, for the good manners in the Quran. Those who do not lie, those are good manners. No one lies and we say he has a good manners. So first thing in good manners is not lying. Fulfilling the promise that you have made to anyone, then that is good manners. Okay? Not cursing to people, not cursing at brothers or anyone. A lot of people, all what they have in their tongue is their what? Offensive words and bad words. And the moment they start talking, they sell that. That is bad manners. Because there is a hadith, إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَكْرَهُ الْفَاحِشُ الْبَذِيء, the one who uses bad languages, and that he has no shame, and that is bad manners. Good manners also is to be shy and to be ashamed of bad things. That's good manners too. And all those good manners are all in Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Because Allah said and praised Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam when he said, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. In Surah Noon, Rasulullah, Surah Al-Qalam, Surah Noon, Wal-Qalam, and that's Surah Al-Qalam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and you are in a great exalted manners about Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, بُعِدْتُ, he said in the hadith sahih, بُعِدْتُ لِأُتَمِّمَ مَكَارِمَ الْأَخْلَاقِ. I have been sent, beside La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah, to worship Allah and not to have partnership with Allah. He also said he was sent to complete the good manners. The Arabs at that time, they have good manners. They have bad and good manners. The Quran came and the Rasulullah came. The good manners, they established and they stayed. Like what? Like in generosity. Like in not praising dhulm, and to what? To give victory and support the one who are oppressed. Those are good manners. And there are many good manners the Arabs they have when they were there. Even Abu Jahl, when one of the daughters of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came to him and he went mad at Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he went to knocking in his door. He was not there, and one of his daughters opened the door. Then he turned back when he told his friends there, he was not there. I was gonna go and curse him and so on. And but his daughter, they said, why don't you slap her? I said, no. What do you think the Arabs would say about me slapping a woman? That's good manners. Good manners, they were there, some of them. Of course, there are a lot of bad manners. And that's where Rasulullah came to change those bad manners and to keep the good manners, like being generous, being courageous, being truthful. For example, the Arabs, they have at that time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it has been shame, very shame, that somebody to lie. They won't let ever somebody to catch a lie on somebody else. Then his stats in the community goes down, and that's it, he's finished. If they just catch one lie on him. And that's why Abu Sufyan radiallahu anhu, before he became a Muslim, when he went to Hercle, and you were Hercle asking him, that's the king of, or the ruler of the Romans, when he's asking him about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, it was a chance for me to lie, but I couldn't lie, because that's a shame. If I lied, it would not be a stake on me for the rest of my life. So he could not lie, even though he was an opportunity to him to lie about Rasulullah, but he did not say one single lie, even though he was what? He was a kafir at that time, and he was a mushrik. He did not believe in Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam yet. But his good manners prevented him from lying about his enemy, the one who hates the most at that time. But that is good manners. So there are a lot of good manners they were at that time. And when the Islam came, they leave those and they enforce them, reinforce them, and the bad manners, they were eliminated. And but the comprehensive, and if you want to look for, to gather everything, you will find the good manners is complete with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in everything you think of. his life, his seerah, all full, his behavior, all full in what? In that. Rasulullah sallallahu in his life, all that good manners. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in another hadith, he said, خيركم, the best of you is what? The best of you is the one who has the good manners. And the best of you is the one who is good to his home, his wife, and his kids. That also means good manners. And he said, وَأَنَا أَحْسَنُكُمْ بِأَهْلِي, and I am a best of you to my wives. He works with his wife at home. And Aisha said, he doesn't scream at them, not cursing them. It's super manners. That is the manners of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So all those are really gonna reach somebody to what? To the highest level. And but the bad manners, screaming at people, cursing people, all those are bad manners. And all those are gonna be destroying the deeds of a believer on the day of judgment. As Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, on the hadith we mentioned before, when somebody comes with mountains of what? Good deeds. A lot of salah, he said, a lot of zakah, a lot of fasting, a lot of umrah, all mountains of good deeds, mashallah. But he said, then wayati, and then he comes on the day of judgment with those mountains of good deeds. But shatana hada, he annoyed this person, he cursed this person, and he hit this person, hitting physically, mentally, verbally, all that bad manners. All this mentioned, Rasulullah, was bad manners have done against other people. Then they will start taking from those mountains of his good deeds, and they're all taken away, nothing left for him. And then he said, there are some more people that he cursed and annoyed and abused in this dunya. They will ask for hasanat, but he doesn't have any more. Then they will take from their bad deeds and they put on his bad deeds. So he now accumulated, he lost all his salah. And remember now, those salah is being accepted because if he's a believer. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Furqan, what did he say? وَقَدِمْنَا إِلَى مَا عَمِلُوا مِنْ عَمَلٍ فَجَعَلْنَاهُ هَبَاءً مَنْثُورًا. The disbelievers there, they don't come with mountains of good deeds. Even if they did good deeds, they're all gone with the wind. But the believer comes with a lot of salah, a lot of zakah, all good deeds. But they're all taken because of his bad manners. The bad manners destroyed all that. And brothers, everything in this dunya that we do, there are many things Allah can forgive. You did not pray when you were young, you were still not matured, now you repented, now you regretted. All that Allah will forgive you. You did not fast before, now you're alhamdulillah fasting. But there's one thing that's not gonna be forgiven. Whatever you do, you fast from today to the end of your life. Give all your money sadaqah. All that's all fine and good. But that will not forgive and wipe out if you did harm to anyone, if you cursed anyone, if you abused anyone. That is nothing can be taken except himself. Either in this dunya you go and face him and ask him for forgiveness, or you wait till the day of judgment. That's for sure. All the ulama agreed, the Quran, the Sunnah, all stated that. But between you and Allah, yes, Allah will forgive, and He will forgive us so many things we do. But if you did anything to anyone, it's nothing gonna wipe it out, nothing gonna be taken it off from there except himself, or you pay for it with what? With your good deeds on the day of judgment. So we have to be aware of that. And that's all really related to the good manners. Good manners makes you not to steal the other's money. Good manners means you do not abuse the other people. Good manners means you do not curse the other people. Bad manners means you do not backbite the other people. You backbite one person,
in this dunya, nothing can forgive that except him, or you pay for it in the day of judgment. And that's why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, be careful. If you did anything to someone, go and clear it with him now, before comes the day of judgment, when you can only clear it by the good deeds and the bad deeds. So it's up to you. You clear it now or wait later on the day of judgment, when you are really in need for every good deed to be preserved and to be counted, not to be taken by another people. Backbiting nowadays is so much. People, they will sit down, they will bring 100 persons and they will backbiting them. When Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam asked it, because some people misunderstood the backbiting, when they told him, "Atadruna mal ghibah?" Do you know what's backbiting? They said, Allah wa rasuluhu a'lam. Allah knows and his messenger knows better. He said, al-ghibah, that you mention your brother with something he disliked. A man stood up and he said, Ya Rasulullah, if I said about my brother something, but he is that, what I said is right, that's him. He said, if you said something that he has, and it is indeed your right, that is backbiting. But if you said something and he does not have it, then that's buhtan. That is lying. That's even worse. So even he is what you said, but you said it, that's backbiting. And you are gonna pay for it, or you go and clear it. If he does not have, then you lied about him. That's not backbiting. That is bahatta. فَإِن لَمْ يَكُنْ فِيهِ فَقَدْ بَهَتَّهِ. Bahatta means من البهتان. And buhtan means that you create some lie about someone. You say, he is, when he is not. But if he said he is, and he is really is, that is backbiting, and that is haram. And that's one of the major sins, big major sins, that cannot be wiped out from the record, or your record, only on this dunya. If you go and clear it with him, ask his forgiveness, tell him I mentioned you bad things in many occasions, I'm asking for your forgiveness. But if you're sincere, Allah will put something in his heart and he will clear you and he will forgive you. Or if you're shy, or you don't, or your bride is taking you, I'm not gonna go to him, that's fine, don't. But you will on the day of a judgment, and it's up to you. Very clear, very easy, nothing that. And that's done even in our lives. So that's very, very important to be having good manners. Really, good manners protect all your good deeds will be protected by the good manners. If you look, all the good deeds is going to be taken. If you collect all the hadith and you see how the bad deeds, people lose their bad deeds, is because they have good manners. For example, Allah mentioned in the Quran, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, la tubtilu sadaqatikum bil manni wal adha. Allah says in Surah Al-Baqarah, believers, do not lose your good deeds by al-man wal-adha. Al-man wal-adha means that you mention who you give sadaqah to, and you said, well, I gave him such and such. I used to give him my zakah. I used that. All that is called man. Man means that you're bragging about him and telling him or telling the others. This will what? Wipe out, as Allah says, تُبْطُلْ صَدَقَاتِكُمْ, will wipe out your good deeds. How? No, it's gonna be there. You give, but he will come and take it on the day of judgment unless you go and clear it with him. And that's one of the bad manners for those who give something and then start bragging about it, mentioning it to others, mentioning it to the person himself. That's all haram, haram, haram. And it's really one of the bad manners which nowadays people are many them, especially backbiting, especially men, this one bragging about what they have done and what they have done to the others, all that considered to be of the bad manners. And that's what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked us to have the good manners. The best ever thing that you can have in this dunya is the good manners. And good manners is something is in the fitrah of a human being. It's in the fitrah. Go to the people who do not believe in Islam. We have teaching in that. But anyone, before even they come Muslims or the non-Muslims, good manners are good. Everybody knows them. Even the kuffar, they say, oh, he's a good man. He has a good manners. That's very well known. And that's from the fitrah. And the Islam came to remind us about this fitrah and not to cross it and being bad with bad manners. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. Means say good things to the people. Means have good and manners to the people, with people. Allah Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he said, do you know what takes the most to Al-Jannah? What is the deeds that takes you the most to Al-Jannah? And they said, what is it, Ya Rasulullah? He said, taqwa Allah wa husnul khuluq. The fear of Allah and husnul khuluq, and the good manners. Because whenever somebody fears Allah, the good manners will fall in place. When you fear Allah, and He said not to backbite, you will not backbite. Then you will have good manners. So they are really connected, fearing of Allah and the good manners. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the good manners as long as we live. Because nowadays, good manners are not much. And everybody is really functioning by himself. One does not worry about anyone. They say anything they want. And they say, what you say, anything. They say, well, I have nothing to do with him. He's not feeding me. I don't have any. They just people like that. The good manners really now missing, except from illa man rahim Allah, except few people. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those who had the good manners. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. استغفر الله. الحمد لله رب العالمين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات ربي وسلامه عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه الطيبين الطاهرين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. عباد الله، أخرج الإمام مسلم في صحيحه عن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أنه قال: من صلى علي صلاة صلى الله عليه بها عشرا. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. اللهم ربنا لا تدع لنا في يومنا هذا ذنبا إلا غفرته ولا هما إلا فرجته ولا كربا إلا نفسته ولا مبتلا إلا عافيته ولا ضالا إلا هديته ولا مريضا إلا شفيته ولا مريضا إلا شفيته ولا مريضا إلا شفيته ولا فقيرا إلا أغنيته ولا دينا إلا قضيته ولا عسرا إلا يسرته ولا ميتا إلا رحمته برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم واعز الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم واعز الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم اعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأذل الشرك والمشركين ودمر أعداءك أعداء الدين إنك على ذلك قدير وبالإجابة جدير. وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. وأقم الصلاة.